We are
All right.
good.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to ReZero D&D. I am your DM, Gold, and I'm glad, and I'm accompanied with a bunch of different people here today. Why don't you name yourselves?
Sure. I'm Connor, or Palazard. I'm playing Siegfried of Culane, the Oni with a little spirit companion to him.
I am Pat Carey. I am playing Librom Ursa. He's a big bear.
Hello, I'm Wolf, and I'm playing Arlen Lykaios, not exactly exiled, but wandering noble.
I'm your girl Cosmo Giles. I'm playing Sofia Hestia or Fia Chia. You can just call me Fia. And I'm your favorite person from the Evil Eye tribe that still exists. Yeah.
Which isn't very hard because there's not many of them.
Not many at all, so I'm the favorite.
Hell
All
yeah.
right. Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah. Last we left off, I guess I'll give us all a extended recap here. So all of you, through disparate means, found upon a shooting star of sorts that impacted the ground, and in that impact, you were drawn to it inextricably, and a mote, like a shard from the impact crater, wound itself embedded deep within your flesh. This all gave you a vision of a unseeable entity that seemed to provoke you all to seek out your own destinies. Various fates then converge underneath a jail cell, beneath a ruined castle, in which you see your captors for the first time since, members of the Black Falcon, a renegade group of media collectors, as they're officially title themselves, headed by a illustrious count, go and collect you all and have you all sort of rendezvous together, all four of you, so-called shard bearers. You all sort of unite and are let out, deemed trustworthy by Marin and Calliope, two members of the Black Falcon, and shepherded for a mission of great import. This school's opening, called the Scolum Aspirentia, and the new leadership of the city of ours is unveiling a brand new school that's supposed to usher them into a new prosperous age. In that school is a telescope, and this telescope is pointed straight at the stars. Due to the fact that, you all have this gift inside of you, maybe even a curse, they want to use it in order to glean some sort of prescience of the future, or contact these entities that you once provoked by being pierced by that shard. And tonight's the night of that grand ceremony, and you were all heralded to the pleasure ward in order to meet up with a good friend of the Black Falcon. Her name is, you go to the Thirsty Countess to meet Connolly Morello, one of the Black Falcon's sister. You're all sort of staying there and waiting for the rest of the Black Falcon to assemble for this momentous occasion. Along the street, they all file in one after another, and you see them all sort of approach you. In fact, instead of kind of giving another description of them, let me just show you what they all look like. I'm gonna
Yes,
go-
please.
Ooh, new graphics.
Oh,
Oh wow.
Oh,
Is
they
that
look
Dorothy?
fancy.
I'll go over which one's which. Very, yeah, very. I mean, it's not too hard. Top left is Leon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Middle is that nobleman, that was kind of alongside of it. You're getting, by process of elimination alone, you can tell this is Connolly's brother. The one on the top right is Raish Alhaig, the Count himself. Middle left, of course, is Sabaroon, the guardian of one other member of the Black Falcon. Middle is Marin. Middle right is Dorothy Stitch.
Ah!
And bottom left is Calliope, and bottom right is Charlotte Umberson. So as they all approach you, you kind of see this reuniting of, you know, old comrades, and they seem to all chatter amongst themselves, pretty absent of your presence for the time being. You see a few of them seem more excitable or friendly than others. Namely, Leon is kind of, you know, looking kind of bored or disinterested already, and kind of walks past you all. Just pretty much, he's a hulking man, and you know, he seems rather unkept and dirty, and he seems kind of just, you know, derisive to the entire nature of this sort of comradeship, and kind of just walks past you all up the steps, up the porch of the inn and inside for whatever reason, just sort of ignoring all the pleasantries. As you all are kind of at the porch of the Thirsty Countess, seeing them all kind of converse for a moment, they break slowly, and you see them kind of pair off just a little bit. You know, you see Marin and Calliope still kind of sitting next to each other, but Dorothy kind of immediately kind of walks over to you and gives you a small bow, and then like a curtsy of sorts, and says, I'm so sorry that this kind of entire process has been such a hassle to you. I didn't mean for it to be.
I absolutely hate you, Dorothy, but I still love you at the same time. And I grab her for a hug instead.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I hate your guts too. That's not true. I thank you. I thought you were going to hate me. And she kind of squeezes you kind of tightly and says, this is all kind of crazy. I mean, they said something. They know about your eye now. And, you know, that's all right. I'm glad that you're honest with them. I'm glad you trust them.
Well, you kind of put me in a position where I kind of had no choice, huh, Dorothy? So we're kind of stuck with it. So if it backfires, could you please help me?
Of course, this is all us helping you guys.
Okay.
I wouldn't put you in harm way, you know, at all.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No. Here's the thing, actually, and I don't mean to be, you know, forgive me if this is me imposing myself over you. I am your mistress, but I don't mean to act like this all the time. You know me. I don't act like this.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
You have a sort of a gift, and it's kind of wasted if you're just cleaning my mansion.
But I enjoyed it. It was easier. But I understand.
I mean, do you think I wouldn't like to be shearing fabric all day? I mean, you know how much I love to
You do.
create. But no, there's some things that, some bigger responsibilities in the world, and yeah. She kind of looks over her shoulder at Raish, who's kind of standing there rather imperiously. And he kind of flicks his eye over the crowd, and his eyes are pretty much just like pits of like glowing like yellow. And you kind of just see him kind of observe you all, and he clears his throat and says, hello everybody, it's nice to see you all. Please, hopefully you've had a wonderful hospitality at Miss Connolly's abode. It is rather beautiful, is it not?
I would bow down to Master Raish and go, yes, sir, it's quite accommodable. It's very lovely. Thank you.
Oh, that's lovely. What about the rest of you?
Before I give an answer, I want to just look at Abram and Libram and see how they are reacting right now to having seen Leon.
I am extremely angry. I'm probably growling slightly.
You,
In fact, he kind of shoulder checked you as you went by. He kind of just like brushed past you.
Yeah, didn't even recognize us. Just went right past us, and I'm not a happy bear at the moment. I'm not happy.
Yeah,
Arlen-
understandably.
Arlen is shaking a little bit. It's kind of dubious to tell if it's from fear or anger or maybe both. But he's grinding his teeth and he's not focused on the conversation whatsoever.
In that case, I'm going to try and just put a hand on either of their shoulders. Completely, it was Raish talking, right? It was
Yeah,
speaking.
Raish was talking to you all. Yeah.
I'm going to completely ignore him and just whisper to the other two, I can tell how angry you are. Don't sink into your rage. Let it build for later. The time will come for your vengeance. For now, just let it fuel your strength, but do not let it fuel your actions. Take a breath.
Thanks.
I'm twitching at overhearing this.
Yeah. You see. Yeah, you definitely overhear it. I mean, it's not hard for you to hear this all. Like, even if you're like away from them, you'd be able to hear it, just because you have that sort of perceptive nature to you. That being said, though, Raish for his part is kind of standing like stock, like straight, like a rod, right? Like he has this very like elegant posture to him, and he referred to you all and sees you all kind of whispering to yourselves, and he kind of like you can't really make out his facial features that well, but you can see his lips kind of like purse for a moment, and he's like, okay, well,
I'm glaring
You know
over
what?
at them.
you know what? I think mayhaps it is time for lunch. How's that sound, everybody?
Lunch sounds lovely. Do you need help preparing?
No, Connolly, and he kind of looks to Connolly, and she gives like a small nod, like it didn't even really need to be communicated, and says, yes, well, I've been preparing for your arrival already. The staff are working the kitchen for a feast for all of you.
Oh, right. I'm not the help today. Okay.
Force of habit, huh, dear?
A little.
That's all right. Today you're all the guests as well.
Has she been given notice of the extensive appetite of one of her guests?
One of our companions eats a lot.
Well, there'll be enough for the rest of us.
Well, yes. I mean, to be fair, one of my companions eats a lot as well.
I guess that's true.
Well, I guess we'll see who eats more.
Let's not make it a contest, shall we? You don't want to make poor Connolly here bankrupt, do you?
No, sir.
It would put us on more even footing.
Fia did not laugh that entire time. Just Kylie did. Fia is in fear.
That was Libron laughing, not me.
Yeah, look at that. he's like, I suppose that is funny.
Do you
but
suppose that we could have some time to ourselves to digest all of this before meeting with the ones who took us captive and assaulted us directly?
Well, yes, I suppose I could permit that. I, for one, do not wish to mentally anguish any of you any further than you've already have been. It was all unintentional, really, just a part of the process. I do apologize if that makes any of it any better. But if it doesn't, then please reminisce and recollect for yourselves. And I think all of us... Oh, Gabaroon. Gabaroon is this hulking, 10 feet tall, Iron Man with broad shoulders, and he's pretty much unfitting to go through the sort of threshold of the inn, and he kind of looks kind of like straight to Raish, obviously, and says, "What is it, sir?" And Raish is like, "You can't fit inside, so perhaps you should go in the garden with the rest of them." And Gabaroon's like, "Affirmative, sir."
How big is this man?
10 feet tall. I think.
Damn.
He carried my snacks.
That's true. He did.
He did.
And you see actually a pretty funny sight in comparison. You see this girl pretty much wrapped in a hood, and her scarf is kind of peeking under her chin for the first time in a while. This youthful looking woman who, age-wise, it's hard to tell, obviously, because of her lineage, but like she looks on the younger side just by like the sheer glossiness of her features. Like all of it seems very like soft and rounded, but she's comparative to the giant lumbering next to her. She looks like a toddler almost. She's like 5'4" perhaps, and he's 10 feet tall. So there's literally an entire other human, other length of her, like between them. So she is just staring kind of straight at all of you, kind of just very, emotionless and expressionless of a face. And she parts from the side of Gabaroon and kind of slowly, makes her way inside as well. And you see that Calliope and Baron were talking to the man there who's one of the nobles, Connolly's brother, and you see Connolly start to have a little bit of a reuniting with her brother, and they were distracted for a moment, but then they pick up as well, and they're like, "We'll head inside as well." The man kind of speaks up and pats his sister on the shoulder, and makes his way inside with Marin and Calliope in tow. And Gabaroon, for his point, says, "Follow me," and kind of gestures to all four of you, and kind of with very dense, lumbering steps, that kind of rattle almost the bushes and stuff like that. Some like squirrels like running away from outside of trees, as he kind of stomps towards this sort of like this garden that is outside of this courtyard of the Thirsty Countess.
All right.
Guess we follow him. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no reason to disagree at this moment.
I briefly look over to Dorothy and wave, and then I follow along because I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, she's right next to Raish, and they both kind of wave at you, kind of friendly, and as they kind of are the last ones to enter inside the building.
I think I linger a gaze at the scarfed figure for a bit too long before following along with everyone else as well.
I'm gonna I'll be walking beside Fia, and I'm just gonna go next to her and whisper as we're walking, Is your lord as scary as he looks?
Oh, I've only met him a few times. No, he's a very nice guy. He just looks really creepy. Nah, he's really nice. He even likes my cooking.
Duly noted.
Could not tell you what he is, though. Dorothy wouldn't even tell me. But he's nice. Hey, puts his clothes away.
I'll take your word for it.
And
Yeah, you guys make your... Oh, sorry.
I'll just follow behind.
Right. You guys make your way to the courtyard, and it's rather beautiful, topiary sort of well shorn sort of line this outside, area in a little gazebo where you all can sit. And for his part, Gabaroon is just kind of stomping along, but he gives you all distance as he kind of just perches himself almost. He can make himself go like stock still, almost as if he's like, suit of armor, as he kind of just poses in place. And you can't really tell where he's looking or like what he's paying attention to, but he's just sort of sitting there like a sentry, almost.
As I pass him by, I'll just tap him on the arm a couple of times and say, "Thanks for the sentry," and keep going past him.
My pleasure.
Arlen, while Librom is walking by, is gonna use his arms to like try and measure between the two of them.
Yeah. For you, it's also almost you have to like raise on your toes.
Yeah.
To get even near like his pauldron, like his shoulder piece, and you guys make your way to the gazebo.
I'm gonna stop real quick and ask if he still has any of my snacks.
Yeah, you ask him that, and he says, "No."
Okay.
Was I supposed to carry that?
Charlotte said you keep the snacks all the time. I was just hopeful.
Apologies. Long road trip.
Understandable. Thank you.
Let's all go have a seat. Seems
You
like
guys
Is
are
that-
all free from prying eyes for the moment, and it seems like, at least. So if you guys speak quietly, you probably are alone.
All right,
Is
then-
that metal man okay?
A great question. I haven't fully figured that one out myself yet. He kind of just does what Charlotte tells him to do. And this is the first time I've ever seen them separated.
He sounds like he's not there.
I don't think he is fully there. I think his mind is elsewhere. He mentioned something about being from somewhere else and being dragged into this. I think he might be the last of his kind. I don't remember it right. I was only half paying attention because we were flying through the sky.
Cool.
Thanks. Other
So-
questions about these people?
The one they call Leon.
I've never met him before.
That bastard.
They'll get what's coming to them. Everyone does in the end.
Aye.
That he will.
I'm conflicted. Like, in my heart, he killed, like, a kid. And if he's associating with this people, by, like, association, it makes me dubious of their intentions. But I know, like, from a logical perspective, it makes sense to go with the flow for now. So, I'll try my best.
Clearly, we're outmatched regardless if we wanted to try and fight our way out.
Yeah,
So
please don't
our
do
best
that.
bet is to simply do what they want with whatever it is that these observers have for us. See if we can talk to them, and perhaps use that as leverage for our own purposes afterwards. Oh,
I
by
do
the
not
way,
like scheming.
I'm not particularly good at it either. There is also someone else who has been begging to say hi since this morning, but this is the first time we're alone. And I'll pull open the collar of my robes and let Bridget fly out and properly.
You see something that looks like a pixie of sorts, kind of just do like a pirouette outside of his cloak, and kind of do a pose where she puts her hands on her hips and looks at you all like as if to praise her amazing, like just like somersault that she did in the air. Like she did a little trick for you all, pretty much, and she kind of poses proudly.
Yay! So
and
pretty.
smile and clap.
That was amazing!
Would I know that that's a spirit immediately?
Yeah, you 100%
Yeah,
would.
so I'll bow my head in respect to the spirit.
I chortle a little bit at him doing that.
It's nice
Hello,
to
It's
meet
great.
you.
to
My name is Bridget.
Hi, Bridget.
Lovely to meet you, Bridget.
I'm
It is-
an intelligent type spirit. Not like any of those ones that can't converse with all of you.
It's great to see such an incredible spirit before me.
I laugh
Shucks,
again.
I'm not that incredible.
You can speak to us. Not many spirits have that power.
Really?
Yeah, that's true, huh?
You are truly a great spirit.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Her mother might get annoyed if you do.
Her mother.
Exactly.
It's a
Even
long
more great
story.
spirits.
Yes, a proper great spirit that time. It's a long story for another day. I think it's just been a little stuffy and in my robes for a bit. Wanted to let her stretch her wings.
Look, I mean, all things considered, it seems like you are all safe for now, right?
Yes, and I would like to ask you just to keep your eye on that hulking metal man for us while we converse for a bit.
She
Let
tilts to the side and peeks over.
let me know if he starts coming or looking in our direction, or if anyone else joins him.
Gotcha. Okay, do you want me to keep watch?
Yes, please.
All right, see ya. And she
Thanks,
kind
Joe.
of darts off.
Arlen's gonna wave.
She kind of like does a little tumble backwards to look back at you all and kind of gives a wave before she, floats off.
You are truly lucky to have such a spirit among you as a companion.
She's so
You would
cute.
She is, yes. If you had said that to me a few years ago, I would have disagreed, but yes, I'm quite fortunate to have her alongside me.
When a spirit chooses someone, they respect them greatly.
Again, it's a long story. Choice is less involved than you're imagining it was. But what is everyone's thoughts of the situation here?
Well, with whatever's going on with the city, I find it strange that whatever we're setting up here, there's something wrong. There's something we've not been told, and that makes sense to me, at least from where the position is standing. I'm just saying there's more than meets the eye here.
They're clearly stripping away the city's natural resources, I assume in an attempt to build whatever this telescope thing that they're working on is. But it's poisoning the water. The whole place feels quiet, and not in a normal sense. Like, the very life itself, the spirits, the mana, it's dead. Or dying, at least.
So I'm not very convinced of their righteousness. I guess we'll have to see what goes on. Gather information as best we can. Play along as best we can. I guess that's it.
I mean, we have no reason not to trust my lady and the master of the house too.
Yeah,
I mean, they've taken care of me for years. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but I do know that they care about me at the end of the day and my powers. So they're not going to do anything too hasty to us.
If you
I
vouch
think
for
you're
them,
right. I'm sorry, Librom. Continue.
It was your same master that locked us in a prison cell for days.
Yeah, I'm not too sure why he did that either. I'll figure that out for you, but to my knowledge, that's not normal.
Now we are here against our will.
to be fair though, Librom, they kicked our ass. Like, they could have killed us if they really wanted to.
Oh, that Charlotte could have absolutely destroyed you, Siegfried.
And I understand your anger. Trust me, I completely understand. But the best way we can get our vengeance and maybe get a little bit of our pride back is by going along with it for now.
These observers really are watching everything as they told us that they were. Perhaps they'll be able to give us some answers about it all. We don't have to reveal what they say to us, to them.
Aye.
We can hold that as collateral, leverage.
I do say that we are just tools. They will use this words of prophecy as to manipulate the people. Probably won't even use what prophecies we foresee, if we see any at all.
I doubt we'll see prophecies. The monks said that the future is always moving. It's never in a solid state. It's a state of water, changing and shaping the people who are expecting it, but not able to be controlled yourselves. You can stop it, a certain one, but it'll always make its way around eventually. No prophecy is guaranteed to come true. There is no book of fate, words of pure and accurate wisdom.
Well said.
That was pretty
In the
deep, man.
meantime, We supposedly need to get ready. And I'll turn to Arlen and Fia in particular. I don't expect that myself or Librom are very experienced with getting ourselves dolled up for nobility, and it seems you two have lived that life for quite some time.
Dress up time?
Yes. Dress up
No.
time.
No.
Librom?
No. Just no.
A bow
It's not
tie?
happening. No.
A brush.
No.
We have to get you to stop smelling like pee.
I was thinking an impressive large belt that would hold up a pair of trousers for yourself and maybe a single pauldron. Librom.
That would be kind of cool.
That would be kind of cool. I could get Dorothy on that.
Think of it
Very
like this.
well.
Think of it like this, Librom. You know, it's not as meaningful as an actual fight between two individuals, but this is another way of us showing power and strength.
Are
Socially.
you saying I look weak?
No,
Without your pants on,
I'm saying
yeah.
you could look stronger.
Is my size and muscle not strong enough?
Nope.
I think you look pretty dashing with what we've got in store for you, sir.
Very well. If only for this night.
Woo!
You will not regret it.
I feel like I already am.
First thing you two need to do is get some water on you.
Soap would be nice.
I'll go ask Dorothy if she has any.
I believe there's a bathhouse just down the street.
To the bathhouse.
Yeah, and you guys make your way over to the bathhouse. You know, for the first time, well, actually, you know, he wouldn't do that. So you would see that the Gabaroon would make his way to the bathhouse, outside of it, alongside you all, in his sort of very, you know, he's silent in word, not in you know, the rumbling that he makes as he ambles along, right? But he can't make his way into the bathhouse, so he stops outside as well.
Can you keep watch to the front door for us, Gabaroon?
That is what I was advised to do.
I'm gonna use my dog Mitia and quickly call Dorothy.
And then you hear that's this ringtone, okay? And then it dials for a bit and then it picks up. Oh, hey.
Hi, Dorothy. I have a favor to ask. I don't know how busy you are, but we're trying to get these hooligans dressed and ready for later tonight. Would you happen to be able to make a giant-sized pair of pants and a belt to hold
Look,
it up?
I'm already on it.
Oh, perfect. Okay, never mind. Well, if you could get, if you have the chance to make some nice things for these goons, I can repair my stuff that I have and just give it a nice wash.
It won't be under an hour.
Okay, thank you, Dorothy. She's the best. You all, you guys. And I hang up the dog phone just before she could hear. No, just after she heard that I said she was the best.
And she is pretty much the best at her particular skill set,
Yeah.
as far as that you're aware. And you make your way into the bath, and the bathhouse looks very nice and lavish. Its its part is completely like, you've all not been in a bathhouse this nice, except for maybe you, Fia. And honestly, it's steaming baths, lovely soaps, canters of aroma kind of wafting in the air. Steam. It's there's like wooden finishes everywhere, really well polished. And yeah, the bath is, as far as you know, pretty much free. I mean, there's a few wandering nobles there, but it's, as you kind of figure, like this sort of Japanese style bathhouse where everybody is nude in there.
I make sure when I go in, if there's ladies around, I have a towel covering my eye over my tatas.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
And my blindfold is still on, but everything else I will do normally.
Right. You guys wash up, make your your way out of the thing. Some of you more begrudgingly than the others get cleaned. And you guys make your way out side once more. A lot more wet, but it's a nice day outside. So it's like clear skies, 100%. It's one of the warmer days of this sort of fall season.
I'm just gonna interject for a second. Probably the heat from the bat and like the heat from the weather at the moment would probably be a bit effective towards Librom because heat doesn't really agree with him. So
yeah, exactly. Keep that in mind. It's not too bad for you yet, but yeah.
Okay.
As you kind of make your way, along, one feeling a bit sluggish than the other, you make your way back into the thirsty countess and make your way to one of the dressing rooms. It seems like a lot of these ladies have this sort of large makeup room and many different stations there. You guys aren't being applied makeup, but you see Dorothy's there with a dwarven woman that you saw earlier, but she's one of the maidens here, and she's carrying a bunch of clothes. You'll see Connolly there as well. Dorothy speaks up first, and she's like, "All right, everybody has a wonderful new outfit. You all try it on. It should fit you all perfectly. I think I caught all your measurements."
You're the best, Dorothy.
Is this made out of blood like the silks that we sold at the entrance?
Yes, in fact.
They're the most beautiful.
Arlen is
This is very expensive, by the way. You guys should be rather impressed.
Arlen is kind of shaking from how like luxurious these things are. Like he's scared. He doesn't want to break it. He's like, "Oh my god."
Oh, that's a good point. Gold, is there a risk of my flaw causing a problem here?
Your flaw. Which one?
Bull in a china shop.
Yeah, probably, right? Yes. You'd probably be. I'll make you roll a dexterity saving, and just dexterity check, I would say, as you're trying to put on your clothes.
Oh,
I got a 7.
Yeah. As you're putting on, these are like very finely fitted sort of silk, robes, and they're all very beautiful. Like, this is like you got like a buttoned sort of
Like a tunic.
Yeah, tunic, like, and like this sort of dress shirt underneath it, and the dress shirt is like this black color, like black color, kind of splotched with gold, or sorry, not gold, red, but with like golden stitching all throughout, and it's a very gaudy design, but it by the nature of the coloration and also just how well it's fitted, you can tell that this is a master work. You're putting it on, and one of the buttons, ping, flies off and hits Dorothy in the face. Ow!
Oh.
No, how's that even possible? I fit it perfectly.
I guess you were wrong.
I wear wraps and robes because nothing has to be pulled. I apologize for that.
Fia is gonna jump in and grab the button and fix it real quick, and then button the rest for him, so there's no more mishaps. Before Dorothy loses her mind.
Yeah, she's kind of, her eyes twitching for different reasons. Because of the piercing pain, but also because of how irritated she is. She's trying her best to fit all of you. Like there's a lot of like interesting things like scabbards. So your sword doesn't fit in any scabbard, but she gives you like a almost like a sheath of sorts, like a band, I should say, like a band that kind of, you could fit it in between the guard, like this sort of stopper that kind of prevents it from sliding off your back if you were to wear it.
A piece that holds the tip and then like a clip around the shoulder. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. Yeah. That's perfect.
And it seems to all do well. Like, you're all kind of being geared up to a better quality than you've ever really had been before. it's kind of impressive how well put together you all are. In fact, I think let's see who would get increases to their AC. I guess only two people. Let me just check real quick. Both Fia and
Nice.
Librom would get +1 to their AC, I think.
Woo!
Yeah. So let me just do that real quick. Where are you guys? Sorry, I'm just looking. All right, cool.
What's our AC again?
It's your armor class, pretty much what people need to hit you.
Bless you. Nice.
Sorry, what was that?
So basically, you guys got this new armor, which is better than what you were wearing previously, and because of it,
Woohoo!
you are harder to hit now in combat.
Thank you, Dorothy.
Is there a reason that Librom and I didn't have armor put into our
Yeah, because of your dex bonuses already increase your armor class by more than the amount that could be increased by this new armor. They have like lower ACs than all of you, so yeah.
I have
I'm
an
one
11.
hit and dead.
But do you have
How is-
11? Wait a
I
second.
have no armor on. I have 10 in dex of
Oh,
+1.
right. Okay, you get a. Let's see, what's the base then? Let me see. The base is. I thought that both of you and both had high armor classes. Let me check.
I think I'm the only one that does have a high armor class.
Yeah.
We had a breastplate in session 0 that was lost.
Right. So 11. You are Fiatia,
Yes.
Sofia Hestia.
Just fair.
You get a 14 AC. Sorry, my bad.
Woo, 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 woo.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna run to pee while we're setting this up. We'll be fast.
14 plus her dex.
Her dex is. Sorry, I'm just checking. Her dex is 0, so yeah, it's just 14, right? Yeah. Cool. So you have a 14 AC. Yeah. So you get +3 AC because you were wearing no armor beforehand.
Okay, so we have an armor with a 13 to it. And then
Yeah.
+1 for dex.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
No.
Can we
problem.
hold on to our older clothes and
I mean, you can, 100%. I mean, they aren't throwing it away from you all.
Yeah. Especially Arlen stuff, probably like.
Yes,
probably
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll hold on to my clothing too.
You guys are also given like packs, like backpacks, satchels, that type of thing. It's
Okay.
obvious that they are kidding you up a bit because they trust you to some sort.
I appreciate this. Dorothy?
And yeah, Dorothy says, "Yeah, that's my name."
Thank you so much, Miss Dorothy. This looks amazing. My father and uncle would be amazed.
Oh, it's really no big deal. This is one of my quicker jobs, anyways.
This is your quicker job?
It
Well,
was done in less
yes.
than an hour.
There's a loom in my commerce, my place of business is making exactly what you're wearing right now, with few modifications for form and content, as it were.
She's quite skilled.
Indeed, I am. And also, you see Connolly kind of trying her best to fit the trousers on Librom, who is very much so just just a huge man. It's almost kind of clumsy to try to make a bear kind of fit in pants. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
like
have to
stubby
bind
legs.
the fur at the top and bottom to make an entry point and a holding point. Then take the bindings off.
Yeah, that advice seemed apt, and after a while, she's finally done and says, "Whew, you're a big man, aren't you?" She says to Librom and kind of pats him on the back.
I am big.
Indeed, you are. That's not a bad thing, though.
It gives
Either
me
way.
height advantage.
Exactly. Either way, You all look very spiffy.
Why, thank you.
Arlen does a curt little bow.
Yes.
Oh, and I'll do the same after seeing the other two thank them.
Connolly giggles to herself for a moment and says, "All right, everybody, I believe the food is ready. If you were to be so inclined to dine."
Before we go down, Dorothy, do you mind if I ask you a quick question about one of your companions?
Why, sure.
Which one?
The small cloaked figure, is she an elf?
Why, yes.
She's someone that traveled with Fiat in the past, relatively recently.
Recently, yes. She was sequestered from my estate just to sort of like, well, there was this meteor that crashed in our backyard, and then there was another meteor that kind of flew away that she sensed, and then she brought Fia with her, and then captured you, and then brought you away.
Fia pops in and goes, I see what you're looking at, Sig. Do not attack her. She will kill us all in an instant. You can have a duel or something later. You don't need to do this now.
Wait. You guys want to kill Charlotte?
I wasn't
No.
insinuating that. No.
But
I wish to
Charlotte
have-
took him out.
I wish to have words with her later. That is all.
Well, the thing about Charlotte is that she makes rash decisions, but her intuition is usually correct. I will say it's uncanny, really, the way that she acts and conducts herself. She's very skilled for being so young.
Elves are nimble fighters.
Indeed they are, though, they all keep to themselves, as it were. The thing is, she's younger than both me and Fia are, and you shouldn't fault her too much for a lot of her faults.
So she's a
Does
new
that make
elf.
sense? Yes, she was one of the most recent births of her people, and it turned out haywire.
Understood. I have one more question before we go downstairs.
All right.
What is the name of Connolly's brother?
Oh, his name's Adrian.
Adrian or Adrum?
Adrian.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
And Connolly kind of says, "Well, you could just ask me that."
You were not exactly the most straightforward person when we were discussing downstairs.
She thinks back on this and says, "Well, I suppose you're right."
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you, Dorothy, for giving me the answers I asked for. And I'll pat her on the head and head downstairs.
She squints for a moment and says, "Yeah."
I just look her dead in the eyes like, whoa, you're gonna let that happen?
She shakes her head and sighs and says, "Look, it's best that we all get along."
Arlen is like reeling from secondhand embarrassment and just slowly walks down the stairs.
Yeah. As you're walking out of the stairs, you like all three of you kind of make your way, or like all four of you kind of make your way down towards the banquet hall. But you kind of, I guess it would be you, Arlen. You bump into somebody who you weren't really like certain was there as you kind of pass by the hallway, and you see it's that hooded elven figure. And she looks at you for a moment, and she says, "So, you're one of the stargazers, aren't you?"
Yes, ma'am. And you are?
"My name is Charlotte."
Nice to meet you, Charlotte.
"Why are you... Tell me about yourself."
Well, there's not too much to say. I'm a minor noble from Lugunica. Minor in the most minor sense. My lands are worth nothing, and I've been adventuring the past couple years, trying to find my way.
To be honest, I've seen the rest of you. You're the only one I haven't seen. That's why I'm keen.
Oh, that makes sense.
Correct. Well, tell me, what do you make of the situation you're in?
I can get the feeling from you that if I'm not honest, it probably won't give you the best impression of me. Okay. In honesty, I'm still very skeptical of your guys' intentions, and I think I am justified in feeling that way. But I know from a logical perspective it makes sense for me to go along with what you guys are offering at the moment. So, I'm not a threat to you or your comrades.
Right. Well, that's pragmatic, at least. Tell me, what is your deepest secret?
I mean, my deepest secret? Why would I just tell you that?
I'm not sure. But I will say that it's best that we get this all out of our system, so to speak, beforehand. When poison is introduced, well, an antidote is required. That antidote is honesty. We're being honest to you, or we're planning to be. So therein lies the truth. We don't want to mess this up at this critical juncture.
That is fair.
She kind of giggles to herself for a moment and says, forget it, actually. Life isn't so boring as to get everything straight up. I'll think on it, though. And you should as well. Decide for yourself whether or not you should do something or another. You're being directed by our whims for the time being, though. Doesn't that upset you?
Of course it does. But damn it, you're pretty good at this. I'm someone who I don't exactly consider a friend, but who I think is probably definitely wiser than me, told me to hold my ground, so I'm doing that. I am not a patient person, as you can probably tell. It's so hard when you have these ideals that you keep to yourself of wanting the world to be a certain way, and you've sworn to yourself to do the best you can to put the world that way. But I know that if I try to do that right now, I lose my chance of seeing my brother again. So, I'll be patient.
Good. Because ideals and patience are linked together inextricably. You should know that time weathers all strong sentiments. And you decide for whether or not you yourself have a long time left to live. As such, you should bet on yourself. Bet on that you will live a very long life, unless you wish to resign yourself to being pitifully average, as it were.
Well, we can't have that.
No, we can't. For the misers of fate have chosen you all, and I do not think they did so lightly. And she kind of walks off.
What a scary lady. He just says out loud to himself.
I'm just gonna call upstairs and say, Arlen, if you don't get down here too quickly, I don't think Librom will wait for your food to wait for you.
Shit, I'm coming!
Yeah, and you guys make your way into the banquet hall, and all the friendly, familiar faces are there. There's a large sort of dining room, all kind of, not even kind of, adorned with a lot of different eclectic knickknacks that seem to be, or diningware sort of collected from various different cultures. It seems like there's, a mishmash of designs and intents, but this seems to be like a hall for gifts and stuff like that have been sort of lavishly adorned. There's like a on the mantle sort of like a head of a beast of sorts, like this sort of purplish skin beast with its tongue sort of long out of its skull. It seems to be stuffed, and it has a sort of devilish red eyes, and like this fuzzy black like mane of sorts. You all kind of figure this is a witch beast.
Would I be familiar with what it is then, since I spent my time hunting them?
Actually, no. This seems to be something native to these lands.
Is there many people in this room?
There are, I would say, about 12 people in this room. I mean, there's all of the Black Falcon. Then, well, now Charlotte kind of falls in after you all with, like, but weirdly beside, I mean, not even weirdly, you kind of get the impression that she was up there, and you kind of catch it that she was upstairs with Arlen for a second. And you see 2 attendants, you see as well as you see Connolly as well join you all for dinner.
What's the most social faux pas spot
dinner,
that I can
lunch.
sit down?
Yeah, it'd be the second head of the table, right? So the first head of the table is already occupied by Raish. There's really no helping that. The second one seems to be reserved for just about anybody, but actually it seems like Charlotte might actually be heading over there just because. And you could sit there before her if you want, if you wish to, if you have some spite against her still.
Siegfried wouldn't be doing it out of spite. He would simply, I was just going to have him sit in the spot that is most inappropriate.
Right, okay. Then yeah, he doesn't even realize that he can sit
like,
there. Yeah.
Arlen almost like falls to his knees. Like he picks himself up immediately, and he like is like not running, but like walk sprinting over
To stop him?
to stop him.
Yeah, Fia just like staring mouth open, going like, no, 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 no.
Is there something wrong? This gives me the best look at that mob beast on the mantelpiece.
You have to think of the political situation we're in, Siegfried. You are in a royal section. We are not nobility. We have to sit away from the nobility. You can go take a look at the mobbies, but like, we can't sit at the head of the table.
No, it's the opposite of the head. It's as far.
Do you see where Lord Raisha is? Do not sit next to him. Dorothy might not even be able to sit there. That's how high it is. Do you think you can compare to Dorothy right now? We're their little workers.
To put it this way, Siegfried, I'm actual nobility, and I'm still gonna sit over there, because if I'm being honest, socially, I don't want to put us in a more difficult situation than we're already in. Come on.
I'm not even allowed to sit next to Lord Raish or Dorothy. I don't even sit at the table normally.
To be fair,
I serve it.
They do kind of treat you like a servant. So.
I am the servant. That's my job.
Okay, so while they were doing that, Librom just went for food. Whatever part of the table had the most food, Librom went to. Like, he didn't care whatsoever what was going on there.
Yeah.
So wherever that's at the table, that's where Librom has gone. If that's inappropriate, he doesn't care. He's already there, and he started to chow down.
For sure. And for the meals that have been provided, you see a smorgasbord, a array of foods. You see some kind of a pottage. You see various different meats. I'm not even going to bother trying to figure out all the names for adjacent world, ReZero world names for all these different
Peppers and appas and
yes,
Karens.
exactly. I'm going to relinquish myself of that burden real quick. You see something like venison, you see boar, you see fish even, interestingly. This seems to be like on ice fish that have been sort of, presented, like salmon or something like equivalent. You see like on the like a huge plate, what looks to be like a bird of some sort, like turkey or something. And all about is just some fruit, some like candied fruit. You see like cheese. You see
Sweet nectar.
sweet nectar. You see wine, sort of all about like like 3 bottles of wine almost. It seems like wine is in abundance in an establishment such as this, and yeah, it seems rather hearty and lavish.
May I request? I never really went through this with you, but I feel like Fia would be an absolute lush. Is that okay? With my character?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
What?
The first
Your
thing
decision.
she grabs when she finds the proper seat is a giant glass of wine.
Yeah, and it's really good stuff. Of course, Dorothy would, for special occasions, give you, bottles of the stuff, and you'd all drink together rather ceremoniously. But now you're kind of given to the reins, and you see Raish didn't even get to like speak to all of you about like a commencement speech of the meal before everybody's starting to eat. And Leon, the red-haired man, is eating beside you, almost not in a comical concert because how much you guys hate him, but he is definitely putting up with the same numbers as Librom is. You wonder if he's doing it on purpose at some sort of like sense of competition, or maybe he's hurried because of the fact that somebody else is eating as quickly as he is.
Arlen is after obviously I've tapped Siegfried soldier, be like, come on, before they both eat all of it. And then as I'm running up, I'm gonna run up past Leon, give him a glare, and then go to Librom and say, kick his ass.
I'm just gonna look and go like, what? What?
You already paid attention.
Like I'm in the middle of eating food, like with my hands and mouth. This is barbaric what I'm doing.
I'm gonna be leading up as far as I can to grab his Librom's shoulder and be like, this is war, man, goddammit.
I feel like I'm gonna be right in between Leon and Librom, and I'm just taking a big sip of wine because I just can't deal with this.
Yeah.
My appetite's gone, but the wine's here.
That's so funny. Yeah, you guys, you see Connolly like conduct herself with some of her servants, and they are hurried as if they're like realizing that they need to go back to the kitchen and get more food. And you see Raish kind of chuckle to himself, and then right beside him is Adrian, and Adrian for his part is across from his sister, right near the front of the table, and one of the last seats that could be managed is Charlotte is at the other end, of course, because you guys allowed that for her. But yeah, you see them kind of chuckle amongst themselves about the situation for a moment, and as you guys eat, I mean, they seem to relinquish some of the initiative of giving this conversation and wait for you all to eat enough that it seems like you've slowed down.
I take it no one else is accustomed to saying a prayer before meals together.
You see Calliope, for her part, kind of perks up and says, yeah, I do that, yeah.
Would you guys like to do that?
It's a little late.
Like,
We can always do it now.
I think this field is gonna need to be blessed with Librom in the arena.
like Librom is not paying attention. He's just eating. He's nothing. Everything going into his ear is going out the other end.
Yeah, and you guys were all pretty much, I mean, starved for a long while, right?
Yeah.
For better or worse. So this is reconstituting a lot of your energy, and slot like pitchers of or like canters of wine and water, fresh water. It feels like honey going down your throats. And you eventually kind of wind down a bit. There's a lull in the cross conversation, a lot of them aren't conversing with you, only because it seems like they're, reticent to do so. You notice Adrian Morello, Connolly's sister. He's kind of looking over at you, Fia, kind of curiously, just like every once in a while you see him glance over to you, and you see this because obviously you have great perception.
Yep.
Yeah.
How close is he to me? Like talking distance, or I have to get up and walk over?
You probably have to get up and walk over because you're between Librom and Leon.
Oh, that's
I
right.
guess
Is he
it's a
close to Dorothy?
He's right next to Dorothy, yeah.
All right. I get up because I'm getting uncomfy about the amount of stairs, and the liquid courage is helping. And I
Yeah.
walk over to Dorothy and try to strike up a conversation to see what the hell is going on here and why we're at a fancy dinner, and also see what he wants to. 'Cause I
Dorothy,
can-
so you ask that to Dorothy, and she says, "Oh, I'm surprised you're, well, not too surprised. Look, I will say, as I was talking about earlier, it's like we're preparing for something, and he's just wanting you all to be ready. I mean, it's not like it's a just gesture of goodwill, almost, It's like he'll explain it in a second. Do you have any problems?
I'm kind of worried right now with how we're being treated, considering our status in the world. Are we going to be used up and, like, our souls taken away, basically, for whatever this is? Or are we just instruments that'll be used again and again?
Well, aside from my abilities, there's no real way to influence you guys, and I wouldn't do that, right?
Yeah.
The truth is, you guys have free will to do whatever you want. There's nothing that we can do to take that away from you. But because of the fact that you guys haven't really struggled at all thus far, I mean, it seems like we'd rather have you close to the chest. And at that point, well, he's going to talk about it, but he's like thinking if tonight goes well, you guys can officially be members of the Black Falcon. Understudies, of course.
Okay, I thought you guys were just gonna use us up as, like, juice or something for something and we die. No, that's okay. That's understandable.
It doesn't really work like that. I mean, look, as far as I know, these shards are just conduits of sorts. They're conduits that have yet to activate. They, I don't know too much. Rach will talk about it maybe
Okay.
if you ask him. But basically, I think there's something like, I don't know, like wills of some sort, like not even the will of the observers. These, guys in the sky. I don't know anything about them, but they're like.
Okay.
They're like influences, like a curse, like a blessing, almost. But they're dormant. You need to commune with the observers to awaken it, or perhaps do their bidding to awaken it. I don't know if you want to do that. I don't know what that entails exactly. But the thing is, Raish is he's like he's trying to figure out what exactly is going to happen.
Okay, I trust. Thank you, Dorothy.
Yeah, no problem. Okay.
Now,
Have a nice rest of your banquet. And Raish, she kind of calls over, and he's like, "Oh, what, Dorothy? Isn't it about time that you went along with everything?" And Raish is like, "Oh, but we're having such a lovely time." That being said, though, yeah, sure. Everybody, please listen up. And he kind of clinks his glass for a moment.
before
As he's eating, it's almost like you can't really, like, as he's bringing like food up to his lips, it almost like it just disappears. Like it just like
soup.
Yeah.
Before Fia goes to her seat, she turns to the guy and is like, "I see you looking at me. You're gonna explain that later. You're lucky Lord Raish saved you there." And then I go back to my seat.
Adrian looks confused, but he also looks. I guess the best way to put it is that he looks upset, I would say.
Oh,
Just like he seems conflicted.
oh, I feel kind of bad that I did that, but I'm gonna blame the booze on that one. And I go back to my seat to listen to Lord Raish.
All right, you're all gathered here, my band of the Black Falcon. It seems as if we've new guests to accompany us. Introductions are in order, though I assume most of you have gotten the lowdown. Honestly, an eclectic individual assortment, whether it's a destitute noble, a member of the lingering Oni tribe who has not yet been snuffed out. Same with the Evil Eye clan. Stuff like that is powerful indeed. It's just the conviction of that luck, that fortuitous nature of fate. And then we have somebody who seems to be beloved by all the spirits, the natural world sort of loving and bending him with such tender embrace. I will say that there was answers that need to be given, I guess. Why did we beat you up? A question you're probably asking. Well, that reason is very simple, and it's because the situation calls for a heavy hand sometimes. I love using a soft hand. Mostly in life, soft hand usually hits the hardest, in a sense. But I believe that the situation called for a breaking of any other outside influences. If we weren't so sloppy and messy, and I can't control all of my subordinates, but if we weren't so quick on the draw, as it were, I couldn't imagine where or what fate might bend you to its whim. We did it because we were scared somebody else would come and clutch you from us. And we're also scared that you would resist. That is simply it. And it's a pragmatic explanation, and it doesn't do much to quell all of your hearts. But I hope you understand that in a larger scope, we didn't do it because we hated you. We didn't do it because we were spiteful or because there was malicious intent. It was just something that needed to happen to secure the future. Everybody has a lovely road ahead of them, and we didn't mean to cut it short to any of your own whims or fancies. In fact, I come here with an elegant proposition I thought up on the way over. We will allow you all, depending on what the directive of the observers are tonight, we will let you all go about your own business and fancies, collecting or growing your strength or pursuing your interests, whatsoever they may be, as long as you are at least, by some means, attached to us, whether it's by being companion with one of the members of the Black Falcon, or more reticently, you kind of allow yourself to be taken under oath, under my charge, and you pursue the directive given to you forth haste. Basically, the two options are thus. You are allowed to do whatever you wish until we call upon you, or you fall in line with the rest of us and are going on our own missions and doing all that. It's not an easy decision, mind, and it has a lot of variance to it. I don't necessarily know with 100% certainty what we'll be doing in a week's, a month's, a year's time. But I do know that the situation doesn't grasp itself so easily, especially in a land as arduous and as, tough as the Empire of Valekia. As such, I don't doubt that many people will wish to usurp whatever power that you all possess, or stop us in our track as we align ourselves with a greater pursuit. That greater pursuit is very simple. The world itself has been covered in unknowing, unhungering shadow, half of it lost to all time and encroaching insidiously ever still. Truth is, we've lost half our home, our people. We know not our culture or history. Many of us don't. As such, it was erased from us all. I believe that the longer that we tarry, the greater a risk is imposed upon our beautiful land, this odd Lagna. I wish to cleanse ourselves of it, be away with the shadow, which seems a bit ironic, doesn't it? Be away with the shadow, rid ourselves from it, cleanse ourselves from it, and as a whole, have a prosperous new age dawn upon the world. That doesn't seem bad, right? I think the observers want that, as far as I've gathered in a lot of my brief stints of conversation with them. As such, I believe it. They've a whim and a whimsy of the people of this world. They want to influence it, but they want it to be steered in longevity. They don't wish to see harm befall all of us, and as such, I find no reason to disobey their orders. Don't you understand that that seems like the apt way to go about this? It seems logical, no? And that is one of the most important things about this. It's logical, it's loving of the world, and it is, above all, pragmatic. So, now that I laid that all bare to you all upon your shoulders, questions? Anybody?
We really get out of it for working alongside you.
What do you get out of it?
Yes, what do we get out of it?
Tutelage, gold, interesting artifacts, unknown history that is unkempt from the rest of the world, glory in battle, perhaps, if that suits your fancy. No doubt that there will be many foes opposing us as we chart our route forth. Does that not excite you a little bit, perhaps?
I guess.
And by what means will we accomplish this?
By being alongside us all, of course. Just by being a company to us, you needn't worry about a lot of the directives. But again, I offer you a hand forth which says, your interests are also then my interest in turn, because if you're happy, then success will follow. If you're interested, invested in it, if your hearts yearn to improve or to see the world, then we're all aligned. And in alignment comes honesty, comes trust. And trust is a very important thing, don't you agree? I'm not in a rush, at the moment at least, to get this all done over quick. If you all wish to study, train for months at a time, I will not fault you all.
Could I take this moment to kind of feel out the vibe to see if there's anything he's hiding from us?
Yeah, make an insight check.
Because looking at him, I know he's going to know what I'm doing.
Yeah. He's being forthright as far as you can tell.
Okay. Then I'm okay with this, and I'll follow what's needed.
What if our goals do not align?
Well, then there's friction, isn't there? I suppose friction is not always a bad thing. It depends on what you mean by aligned. As if there's some things that are hugely detrimental, like the larger order of the Black Falcon, that would make it untenable if you're in disagreement of it. But personally, we have a large individual with myriad of different desires and wants and histories. Individually, if you have any problems with all of them, well, we're in the land of the strong, are we not? I suppose it's fine to take some investment into the culture that I've lived in for so long. If you've any problem with any of the rest of the Black Falcons, duel them. Make them submit to your whims, and then their order is above yours.
Does that include you?
Well, naturally, I'd be a hypocrite if not.
I trust in him. Yes, I'm biased, but I have a good feeling about this team. I feel like he could give us what we want, if you want anything in specific.
I mean, it's not like we have a choice. If we separate from each other, something happens. I don't know what, but something bad happens. So there's not much choice.
In all honesty, Miss Charlotte had a interesting connection. And Charlotte's kind of just looking at you. She's not answering what he's meaning, but Raish kind of gives the answer to what he was implying there. So the thing is with your shards is that there's like a gravitational pull to them. You guys wouldn't be apart for long. By fate or circumstance or chance, you'll stumble back together even if you try to pull yourself apart.
Oh, I'm stuck with these three.
That's true, but I'm unsure if it'll just be three of you for very long. I think there might be one more shard, another message from the observers sent to, connect you all, sort of fated. Though, I don't know when or if, but it's one of their last missives. The prophecy I was given dictated such that there's a missing piece still of the puzzle, but you're, I guess, what it would be 80% there.
Prophecies can be wrong.
That's true. But so far it's lined up pretty neatly.
Hopefully the next one's cleaner.
I highly doubt it.
So basically, you all are not at full strength. I should say, at full resonance with the whims of these observers. As such, there's still some work that we ought to do before truly aligning ourselves to the end game of our goal. I have no doubt that they're going to give us this next step tonight.
She'll see.
Thanks to all of your cooperation, mind. The thing is, you guys could have, there was chances, I suppose, to defy our will. It was smart for you not to, by the way, I suppose. But I do think that there is a reasonable contempt that you might have for all of us. Reasonable enough. I mean, we did capture you, and you're all sort of... There's nothing pretty about having your will taken away from you. Do you all feel that keenly, right? A little bit of, perhaps, I don't know, may not humiliation be the word, but it feels a bit constrictive.
Of course I fucking do! Stop talking about it! I'm trying really hard to cooperate.
He kind of stares at you and says, hot-headed, are you? Well, that's not something I'm unused to in this group.
I'll be honest, while this is an unfortunate turn of events from how we got here, it is far from the most humiliating or loss of will taking that I've been through. This is relatively simple, all things considered.
Right. And to be clear, if you cooperate, I mean, the freedom, the world becomes open to you. We're people who, try to guide ourselves to greater understanding, and the world needs to be scoured in order to do so. I've no doubt that you'll, in due time, be able to travel this lustrous land and unearth many of its secrets, find new allies, grow your power, and perhaps make a force equal to the rest of us, if you tread down that path.
I mean, I would have followed you guys anyways. You know how I am, so this at
That's
least gives
true.
me some extra stuff, I guess, if I want to
Though
study.
there came a conversation me and Dorothy had, which is, do you really wish to be under her?
Well, I don't know what else there is in life, really.
I suppose that's a problem, right? Because you're wasting your talent.
I don't even know what my talent is. I've kept it locked for so long.
True, and that's why you've ought to explore it.
And I guess I'm fine with this overall.
Great, and then we're all in agreement then, right? Lockstep. Tonight you will have a large ceremony taking place, and the very end of it is a telescope viewing in the new school that is being opened, this sort of university. The Viscount of ours, Viscount Lauren, is going to be there, as well as the captain of what remains of the pruning corps, Mr. Damien Temalt. It's a big thing. A second-class general from the Valachian army is going to be here as well as the headmistress of the school. You don't need to remember all these names, really. It's all big officiating business, is what I'm saying. So I want you all to be on your best behavior. All you need to do is be grouped up together and, reveal your insight from the telescope.
Understood.
Mm-hmm.
Very well.
Hmm.
It sounds great because, honestly, this was a fortuitous occasion. They were supposed to be meteor showers tonight, and as such, it's a perfect night for viewing. The stars are going to be out in full, and I've no doubt your connection with the observers will be the clearest they'll be in months. So really, it's important that you all cooperated tonight, or we'd be out of luck for some time.
You would simply force us to comply.
I suppose so.
There's no suppose about it. You've already done it. You'll do it again if need be.
The alternative is very clear. The alternative is we try to excise those shards from you, and in doing so, I feel like your odd will shatter into a million pieces. That's my intuition. It seems like these shards are tied to it, sort of a tether, an invisible tether. And Dorothy speaks up and says, I can see it. Yes, it's like a thread pulling at you all. Right, well, as I said, the alternative is that you all die, because if you all defy your will, the observers will surely, in time, send more of these shards. But what they are is very important. It seems it takes a lot of will for them to manifest even a little bit in this world. As such, these meteors are in part the best that they can manage with their energy. The next step is getting prepared for tonight.
And
Does
how can
anybody
we
have
get
any objections or anything they wish to do in the meanwhile? It's only in a couple hours.
Librom will just return to Eton.
Arlen might, if he's allowed, just go for a walk for a little bit to cool his head off.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. You see that they kind of look at you as you kind of walk off, like everyone does pretty much in the room. because you kind of made a sort of statement earlier, a very loud statement, mind you, and they all seem to kind of look at you, and you kind of know this sort of look at this point, this idea that you're being immature in their eyes, at least, for what that's worth, really, because these people seem to be a very strange group of individuals.
After he leaves the room, I'll pull open my now fitted clothes, pat around for where Bridget is until I find her and ask her, Arlen just walked off and he's not in a great state of mind. Will you just keep an eye on him? Make sure he doesn't go too far.
Right. Yeah, of course I'll do that. You think that he's, I mean, yeah, I know what you mean. I'll follow up with him 100%. And she kind of floats off. She does a few pirouettes in the air. It seems like she just enjoys being able to be out of your jacket for once. You see Charlotte kind of get up and walk out of the room once more. And you guys are kind of left alone with all of these member of the Black Falcon. Is there anybody else, anything else anybody else wants to do in the meanwhile?
I have a question for you, Raish.
And what is that?
How did you make one of the meteors fall in your own backyard?
You think I did that?
I think that there's coincidence, there's chance, and then there's manipulation. And the idea of one happening to fall into your own backyard and empowering one of the most unique individuals you had working for you is a little bit too good to be true. So if you didn't do it, then someone who's watching you did.
For sure. And you see what looks to be like a small slitted grin kind of crawl across his face. And he kind of shrugs his shoulder and says, "That is a keen intuition. But know that it wasn't me myself. I did have, I would say, a bit of a talk with them, for sure. In a sense, I'm not saying I told them to do it or where to do it. That's beyond my capacity. And it's also a bit counterintuitive, right? I mean, they're the ones who write fate. They would know where to send this meteor. As such, it's also like, it's mayhaps that they wish to align it with my best interest in mind, because I'm so, interested in what they have to offer for the world."
I might not believe in fate entirely. And if I do, it's only something that can be met or avoided, not written. But your offer is appealing. I can't deny it.
The truth is, they wouldn't allow this if they didn't want it, and they did wish it. So at that point, it seems like we're at an impasse, right? It's like I couldn't influence them any more than they can influence me.
Fair enough. Well, I'm on board then. Congratulations, sir. You have on your roster the last of the Oni tribe and the wielder of Titan's Edge.
It's splendid. It's splendiferous, really. I think that this is a beginning of a fruitful companionship, I would say.
Let's start with partners before we make it to companions.
Oh, how cold! But yes, I'll omit that verbiage.
And then I'll finally give myself some of the wine as well.
And it tastes very good.
Before breaking the glass by mistake.
Yeah. As everybody is sort of finishing up their own various meals, if anybody else wants to talk to anybody at the Black Falcon real quick, if not, then we can move on to Arlen and just what he's up to. Anything else anybody wants to say right now? Anything on their minds?
Nope.
Cool. All right. So at that point, Arlen is sort of traipsing outside of the, brooding as is his wont, outside of the Thirsty Countess, and you see Sentry once again. You see Gabaroon sort of outside of the establishment. He's deathly still at the moment, but he's so big that his presence is unmistakable.
Arlen's very agitated at the moment, not because of the words that Raish even said. That just kind of triggered him to have an outburst. Throughout that entire conversation, all he can think about is that kid that Leon killed right in front of him, and it's constantly replaying in his head, and no matter what he does, he cannot get it out. So he's not walking with any like purpose or direction. He's pacing.
For sure. And you see kind of coming outside, once again, you see the dark hooded elf girl sort of make her way outside and sees you. And her expression is deathly still. Like you haven't cracked a single smile out of her this entire time. There's not even like a change in variance of the way that her expression seems to be going. But she's glancing at you, moving back and forth. Her eyes are like bright red, and they're like just sort of just like looking at you like dumbly. And she eventually pipes up and says, "Your indignation is quite something. I suppose I've not a mystery to somebody who feels, aggressive towards those who constrained and shackled them. Is that it?"
You could say it's some of that. It's not even that. It's just, of course I want to control my own destiny and don't want to work for the guys that kicked my ass. Leon, I refused to go with him, and he killed a kid right in front of me, and I can't get it out of my fucking head, no matter how hard I try. I'm trying to be pragmatic. I don't want to be a bother for everyone else. It's all I can think about. Damn it!
She reaches up to your shoulder and becomes very, very close to your face. She looks straight into your eyes, and you see, the slightness of all of her features in her face, and you can almost like feel her breath on your face as she stares at you, and like her grip on your shoulder is like iron tight. And she says to you, "You can't get out of your head, can you? What if I say that I've killed many kids in my time? Does that change your opinion of me?"
Of course it does.
Well, I suppose that's all right. What does it make you feel?
Angry!
Oh, angry. But angry is just a masking emotion. What is it that you're really, 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 truly feeling?
I'm afraid. Why would you do something like that? Could you not do anything to avoid it? Why would you not try your hardest to stop stuff like this?
In my situation, there was no avoiding it. It was perhaps what I would say a mistake. Though the situation was definitely constricting and arduous. Perhaps you might think that his own situation is constricting and arduous in a sense, right? He has his own sort of infernal mind. He thinks differently than we do, and he is very strong for it. Not to say you should forgive him or even condone his actions. It's just you have to understand that people like this exist in the world. That's the life. That's life in general.
People like that will always exist, no matter what you do. I hope one day whatever I can do will mean there will be as little of them as possible.
Correct. And if you live your life constrained and shackled by your own fear, you'll never go strong enough to conquer it. Understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now get back inside as we get ready for tonight.
Sure.
Gabaroon, you're doing a great job. And you head back inside with her. Quieted now. You see, everybody sees Arlen come back inside. I would assume much calmer than before.
Yes, he's not happy, but he's focused. Like there's no longer a haze in his eyes.
Great. Out comes the dessert, everybody. There's tarts, there's pies, there's everything that you could ever want. Really, you could gorge yourself silly. Tia is getting a little drunk. She's getting buzzed as all heck. As all heck, I said. And
Wine's never flowing near me. So when I get it, I get it.
Exactly. It's a special occasion, and everybody kind of wraps up their feast, and now it seems like they're getting ready for tonight's event. As that happens, you see Marin come over, and he says, "Well, you all look very nice."
So do you, Marin.
Thank you very kindly. I assume that the situation's a little bit, I don't know. I assume that we're all on the same track now.
We all have the same boss.
I'm proud of you all. You guys, I feel like I did a great job chaperoning you all to give you such a great impression.
You said some weird stuff about my people, actually. I haven't forgotten that.
I said that because it's true, not because I'd ever do anything bad to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was gonna say you're a sight for sore eyes, but now after saying that, I think that's a lie.
What?
Honestly, I think that your actions and provocations almost single-handedly led the four of us to decide to group up and attempt to either kill you or less than an hour
that
after
cannot
meeting.
be. I don't believe that. I don't believe it at all.
Your boss is a shadow person, and I think you're the worst person here.
Lord Raish cannot decide who he is.
It's a shadow
That's
person
enough,
because
Siggy.
his people are cursed. I don't know what you want from him.
No, I'm saying that's fine. Your boss is a shadow person, and I think you are the worst person here.
How am I the worst? There's Leon. Leon's right over there.
I've never spoken a word with Leon.
Well, that's fair enough. I mean, look, a lot of people here are very stuck up. I'm one for fun and jovial festivities and stuff.
And concubining.
Concubining, I would never do that unless I paid. In the case it's a job.
Right.
Look at the establishment we're at.
Livy, you should eat him. You hungry bear?
You should not feel too bad. I wish to kill everyone in this room.
Even us?
Hey, what'd I do?
He puts his
I do
hand
not
on
care
the
for you.
forehead and kind of just shakes it. He's like, oh, well.
Bridget, go get Librom another sweet tart.
I thought we were friends.
You still refuse to call me by my full name.
Sorry, Librom Ursa.
Better.
Silence, liberal. And
What?
it's silence, liberal. And
I'm just
there-
gonna give you a hard stare.
I'll make you all the meat you want.
Did
Yeah.
you need something, Marin?
yeah, yes, what is it?
Did you need something?
Need something. What do you mean?
Anything from us?
Why are you here is what he's asking.
No, I mean, my hands seems like I'm free from all of you. For what that's worth.
If that's the case, can you pass me that pitcher of wine for the road?
Pitcher of wine. You want the entire pitcher?
Yeah. Was this not a feast for us? No one else is drinking it. I might as well.
I've been drinking it.
We could share. Do you have 2 straws?
Well, I suppose your lips have been around it, so I think it's about time that we acquiesce with a bit of. I mean, we paid for it all. It's already all paid, so I
Exactly.
suppose we might as well make use of it.
That's right.
Think
If
of it
it's
as an
brought
apology for me being, I would say, uncouth.
Okay. Apology accepted.
That easy.
Thanks.
Great.
Thanks, Marin. Yeah, it's a pretty easy sell for me.
All right, everybody. It's almost the sun's almost set, so it seems like we're just about that time.
Indeed.
Let's get this over with.
Correct. Let's get it over with. I'm not one for stuffy ceremonies, though I've attended dozens and dozens in my life.
I take another huge swig of the pitcher and shove it at Sig.
I I walk over and see if I can get a drink too.
Yeah, I mean,
You're a child.
I am
you
of
see,
age.
yeah, in this world,
That is true.
you see, Marin kind of say, aloud saying, as he kind of walks past, he's like, "Good thing you aren't doing any professional speaking tonight, right?"
Hope not.
And you're all kind of on your way. Swigging drink as you go along. This place seems to be, I mean, of course, the Pleasure District is rather lavish. As you guys kind of make your way along, you see many people entering in rank and file, I would say, in this sort of standard uniforming armor of the army of Valakia, as well as a few interesting looking, what looks to be like mercenaries of sorts at this point. They're wearing various different leathers, but they all carry in their hands large, just like gardening shears of sorts. It's very strange. That's their weapon of choice. But they are kind of flanked by a man with a blue sash on his pauldron. You get the idea that he's their commanding officer, and they're all lining in rank and file up above what looks to be, I guess I'll just pull up where it's at. It's the same map beforehand, so you guys pull up to the square, and of course I've misaligned the map.
As you do.
All right, there you go. You kind of see right where that, this, let me ping it. Ping. Like there, right? That's where everybody's gathering around. And that, the circular building there seems to be the new school. Everything is very nice and lavish. And ceremony occurs pretty much. You see the entirety of the rest of the people all dressed up in what looks to be a bunch of nobles kind of flanking what looks to be what you kind of get the impression must be this Viscount that was talked about by Raish, and he is flanked by a woman who is I guess I'll just describe her. She's like a moth woman, right? And she's wearing these big glasses on her face. Yeah. Big glass on the face, has like big floofy white sort of I would say like a collar, right? And she is, she's very stout, I would say. Like she's kind of like curvy, right? And she looks like she has like her hair tied up in this bun, like this white hair, and her eyes, she has like insectoid eyes. And she kind of, officiates the ceremony, and she says, "Welcome one and all. I am Lady Marlene Solil. I'm the headmistress of our new branch of antiquity, and I'm the chief archivist of the school. This scholum, what I call asprantia, right? Today, due to the exploits of our lovely Viscount Lauren, we've come out of this period of economic turmoil and have decided that we will become the new knowledge capital of our great nation. Today, he has recruited many of the finest researchers, all the way from Trismegius, the city that knows all. And today, we are here to, christen our brand new grounds. I have on great authority here today that many great people from all across our nation are here to celebrate this momentous occasion and bring us into the brand new era. The new era of our new emperor, as well as a new era of growing strength for our lovely empire. We have with us a second-class general, the captain of the pruning corps, as well as the leader of the Black Falcon and the rest of his crew, Miss Raish El Haig. He is here to help aid us in our school's research, giving us antiques as the media researcher that he is. And he is here to give unto us his brand new insights, as he has within his band a group of people who are here to become stargazers with our brand new telescope, a lovely piece of craftsmanship that we're unveiling tonight we will have, for the first time in a long while in our nation or empire's history, we will have a skein of the future that we can pull upon and direct upon the rest of the fate of our world. It is a momentous occasion, and I am more than proud to have been the one officiating for tonight. I hope everybody enjoys the festivities and enjoys tonight as the shooting stars dance across our skies. It is truly a beautiful sight. I hope you all enjoy beholding it.
I'm gonna clap my hand onto Arlen's back to lead the way forward.
Yeah, you guys are kind of made way from as everybody kind of celebrates and gives, what I would say gentle claps. They aren't like roaring applause, but they seem to be very prim and proper, fitting for nobility.
Are you going to be okay, Fia?
Maybe? I don't have to puke yet, so we're in a good spot. I just won't open my mouth. I'm also gonna go last, because I'm a little nervous about looking at the stars. It's been a long time.
Are you steady on your feet?
Debatable. If you feel me grab you, just stay there for a sec. We'll be okay. I didn't think we'd be in front of a large crowd. I wouldn't have drank so much.
Do you wish to be carried?
Well, I do like the princess treatment. I'll be okay for now.
Just stick close to the two of us then.
Okay.
And I'll again clap my hand on Arlen's back to lead the way. He's going to be going first.
Yeah, Arlen's going first.
Yeah, you guys make your way into what looks to be like a library of sorts. There seems to be like like the first chamber is the foyer, right? And then you guys make your way up to a grandiose spiral staircase that seems to lead up to this chamber, in which you see in the center of it lieth a telescope that seems to be piercing through the roof. It's a huge telescope. It's rather impressive. There is an astroglobe, an astrolabe, seems to be kind of like a reminiscent of the constellations, sort of these like these pinpricks of like what looks to be a light bulb of sorts, and these light bulbs are kind of illuminating itself in like constellations.
Are you meaning like actual light bulbs or like
lagmite glowstone lamps, sort of like they're small enough that they resemble light bulb to humans' eyes, us humans from the real world's eyes, but they're just like light bulbs in the literal sense.
Gotcha.
And as such, it's rather there's like a pretty sort of glimmer, this sort of shimmering shine that sort of dances throughout this artificial starscape, and you're rather impressed as you kind of gaze up with wonder. But as like a attendant starts to crank open what looks to be like a sunroof, that peels itself open, you now see the full night sky, and it's rather striking just how how clear tonight is.
Arlen actually like draws a breath in kind of like wonder, like he's never truly seen the world exactly like this before.
You never gazed at the sky on the top of a mountain?
No, this is the first time I've seen it this way. It's beautiful.
My mother used to say that the stars held the stories of the past in them, that you can piece together shapes that tell the history of the world. I didn't quite believe her. I think they're just balls of light in the sky.
Your mother sounds like a cool lady.
She was.
Oh, sorry.
Last Oni.
Yep, keep forgetting that.
Sorry. He gently puts his hand on your shoulder. It looks apologetic.
Did family party? Woo!
Indeed.
As you guys are all having this moment, sorry, you can say what you're gonna say.
Go ahead and take a closer look. Tell us what you see. Or don't, and save it for later.
Very well.
You see the lady who introduced the opening of the school is looking at you all kind of. She's happy. She's excited. She's like of course there's like a big occasion for her as probably the headmistress of the school.
This is Maylene, the moth woman?
Her name is Lady Marlene.
Marlene. Okay.
Marlene.
And was the second class general the leader of the pruning corps and Raish all the same person, or did she name 3 different people?
Yeah, 3 different people.
Okay.
The second class general, his, I mean, you don't know his name, but he seems to be like this man who is carrying what looks to be like a metal rod on his wrist, and it is it's rather big, but there's a trigger of sort, like some sort of mechanism that seems to it's like mechanical almost.
Okay.
And he's he's rather stout, like a big fellow with like a big bushy beard. He looks like he's pretty old, actually, like middle age. You get the idea that this is old blood, and to be old blood in Wallachia requires some strength. The captain of the pruning corps seems to be carrying a large pair of shears, curly blonde hair, with like a very jagged scar that kind of cakes its way all the way up his collarbone and up towards his neck and down into his jaw. It seems like he survived a very near mortal wound. And yeah, you see the Viscount is this very stoogey looking man, old. He's, grays, gray hair, but is wearing this very like over encumbering robe. And it's purple in quality. It's like purple. And he has this very like gleeful smile to him. Seems like he's excited as well about the occasion.
All right. What do we see, Arlen?
As you kind of glance in, Arlen, you immediately, not immediately, you see stars starting to streak across the sky. And your eyes kind of start to follow them. And it's rather beautiful. Like, even you guys who aren't looking at the telescope can see these like shrieks of light that are going through the sky, and these glimmering gossamer threads that are being passing by the skyscape in like a rather like often fashion. It's rather impressive, and it's wondrous to behold. You've all never seen anything like it, really. As magnified as the stars are, you're starting to see them glimmer and shine a little bit brighter, like twinkling almost, the way some stars do. But like eventually the twinkle becomes a bit more rapid in frequency. You feel what seems to be, all 3 of you feel this strength of the connection as your hand thrums, that shard that's in all of your hand start to kind of echo with this sort of resonance, and it feels like there's this thrum that kind of fills the air in all of your heads, and your vision kind of cakes around you, and you see those streaks of the sky start to almost like rapidly, like lines in paper, like somebody's drawing a bunch of lines in paper, just fill your vision. And eventually you're kind of you're in this sort of starry landscape, as if the ground has fell away from all of you. And you're in the sort of like weird liminal space that you're all kind of familiar with. The space in which all of these observers took you the first time you picked up this, the shard. And you see in the constellations, the silhouette of a face. It's only a silhouette, and it's so immense that you could almost not even cannot even really make out any features. You just see a head moving as it's talking. Welcome, one and all, my shard bearers, my arbiters, those of you who wish to tell the tale of the world to the rest of your folk. On a momentous occasion, you're all united. I'm rather heartened.
Arlen is literally straight up being like, "Who are you?"
we've no name, though I suppose to all of you it would help if I had one. I'll think of it. Or perhaps you can give me one if you wish.
I'm sorry, Gold. Are you addressing all of us because we're all witnessing?
Yes,
this?
you're all there.
Okay.
You say all of us, yet there was talk of another one of us among us, who also holds a shard.
You're correct, though that person hasn't been chosen yet, though they have in a sense. I hope you all admire that person, for they are the last piece of this grand design.
Are you the person I spoke with when I first touched the shard, who's not giving me anything to work with?
No, little one, not me.
Okay, I won't be mad at you then.
Of course.
Why were we chosen?
You were chosen because you're the only people who, I believe, can manage to wrangle and corral that group down there. In reality, all of your mights combined can only, just barely, make what is possible come to pass. And as such, I knew that your demeanors, all of your walks of life, are instrumental in coming to pass what needs to come to pass in order to fulfill your grand design.
So you chose us specifically, not just accidentally?
Correct. You were all chosen specifically because you are all the people who are capable of doing what I'll explain to you all in a moment. But that's to say, I know that you all are capable of a myriad of different skills that need to be undone in order to see this all through. It's really like, as I said, the last woven stitch of a grand tapestry. Really, we're close to exacting it, and with your help, it can be done.
And what is it you want to see from this tapestry?
Well, why don't I show you what I see, what I wish to prevent?
Okay.
Such is my whim. You all see quickly underneath you all, as if the landscape is gliding underneath you, like a glass ball, like a crystal ball almost, that is at your feet as you all kind of have to gaze down. Bright light sort of emanates from below as you all gaze down. You see this churning, endless maelstrom of blues and whites underneath you, bright as any star that you've seen. You see it, convalescing, these vortexes of what you would assume to be fire, but you don't see any licking of flames or steam or heat. You just see this dance, this melodious sort of waltz that is taking place, fusion of sorts, this sort of spiraling, echoing sort of energy that is pulsing and broiling beneath you. It is almost like the epicenter of roots of a tree, or perhaps it's the tree itself. These like snaking vines of energy cascading like steeps of lightning. Like you see it never cease, this tumultuous storm, the storm that is taking place beneath you. And it beckons with such power and intensity that it is almost like striking out at the darkness, like lashing out, and it is whisking away what seems to be small motes, like these like little tethers, and it is lashing at it. Some of them are caressing these motes. Some of these are dancing around it. Like there are these like shards that are like sticking out of nothingness, and they're reacting to these like lashes of this blue white energy, and some of them are being eviscerated while some of them are being stroked and caressed, and you see it sort of bubble with such intensity and fervor that it's at such a scale that you can almost not fathom the depth to which all of it is seeming to take place. Your eye catches one of these sights, and then another one catches your attention. And it all is so immense and so huge that you feel the smallness of yourself, and you hear the voice resonate above you all. This is the heart of the world, Odd Logna, and all of its eviscerating, black, dark heart. Its light, its immensity. It chooses and it loves, but it also hates and beckons and distinguishes and divides all souls upon that world. We wish to be free of that. It is so great and awesome, but also so fearsome and terrible. It is creating something that wishes to almost destroy itself. It does not know what it does. It's an untamed chaos, and it frightens us so. This world, through many such places, wishes to rip apart the very fabric of reality. It is tethering other worlds to itself, and it is almost wishing to tear apart the very nature of existence. I wish to stop that.
And how would we stop that for you?
There is a grand seal somewhere in this land. You must unseal that seal and make your way to the core. Poison the heart, not with a poison that would kill you all, but with a new revitalizing potion that is meant to alchemically change the nature of what it distinguishes. Create a cold, black, logical sea, a calm, steady heart that beats in one with all the rest of its people. We wish to quiet it, for it is unknowable. We cannot, even with our immense power, dictate it, its whims. And it scares us so. It scares you. I know it does.
You wish to control nature.
Nature has logic, son. This is beyond even logic.
I still question the motives behind this.
I think they're questioning the motives behind whatever it is that's churning the chaos in the first place.
The world is unpredictable. Chaos has always existed. Controlling it is impossible.
But is it wrong to try?
I wouldn't say so.
To make
It sounds-
sense of this hideous design.
What is hideous to one is not hideous to others.
I know your opinion, and that is why we chose you. You are beloved by the world in many ways. The natural spirits of this world fawn to you and sing your praises up high, such so that we can hear it, the melodious song. Defy us if you wish. Disagree with us if you wish. That is what we want of you, so it is so. We cannot change your nature. If that is what you dictate, then perhaps that is all right.
At the beginning of that whole sequence, Fia definitely grabbed on to Siegfried and Librom, because she definitely was out of it at that point, probably caught by them. And the only thing she can make out at the end is just, well, I guess I'm going with you on this.
Well, to be fair, you would end up there regardless. Though, helping us is still your choice. As I said before, the will of this world is the only thing we cannot control, and as such, or that we cannot discern even. And as such, our control in this physical world is very limited. We can only give you premonitions of what's to come. It takes so much coalesced energy of ours to send these stars down. We had waited for 400 years to send our missives. Those 4 individual stars that you found, that you collected in your palms, those shards tether you to individual ones of us. They will give you insight in time, but only when all 5 of you are connected will we be able to be given a more grand insight, connecting your inner being with that of the world, and then giving us an insight into the world in which we can find that tether, that seal, and finally unseal the world and rewrite its very nature from inside of its own contract.
This seal that you speak of, who placed it?
An ancient people that the world itself created. They themselves are stewards, guardians of this seal. and they've lived in a unknowing labyrinth, protected from our vision for all time.
Do we know what kind of people they are?
I do not even know. That is why your mission as star bearers and also our shard bearers and also the Black Falcon is to discern this for us.
Well, I guess we have our heading.
Indeed.
Is there any way to remove our shards?
There is a way, yes.
Do you wish to elaborate?
Yes, I'll elaborate. Nothing's impossible. So take of it what you will.
Maybe
We do not wish for you to remove it, so we will not aid you in that cause.
maybe if we go along with this, we'll all lose our shards and we can go about back to our life.
You will. We won't need to influence you as soon as we can gaze into the world. It matters not what we say to you at that point. We'll all be connected.
So we're your mortal eyes.
Yes, exactly.
Great.
Not only our mortal eyes, our mortal arms, our
Oh.
mortal flesh.
We're the puppets. Okay.
No, we can't control you at all. You control us just as much as we control you.
Well, gentlemen, I think I'll trust it. What else do we got?
I am still doubtful. Using their means to control the planet to their whim. It does not sit right with me.
Doubt is a powerful emotion. Hone it keenly.
Anybody else got an opinion?
There's one more lead that I wish for you all to follow. In the immediate, there are these 10 sigils that are darted across this empire of yours. They tell of an unseen history, unreadable to most, but you, Sofia Hestia, with your eye, can gain insights into those objects' history that we couldn't glean before. That blessing the world gave you is useful in this sense.
Is it? Oh, great. Amazing. Spectacular. No pressure.
And you see the world shift out from under you again, and it's a large sky view of the entirety of the world below you, as if you're a bird. You see the terrain and mountains and whatever. It's almost like a map view. And
Thea
you
drops
see,
again.
yeah,
I'll actually just pick you up at this point.
you get nauseous. Yeah, 100%.
So
Like-
are we seeing the
uh,
whole world?
Yeah, you see it, and you see
So like,
half
is
of
it
the world
flat?
covered. Yeah,
It is flat.
It's flat.
The world is flat.
So, what's
I
at
think
the
it's
edge? I have to know.
canonically like a curved plane.
yeah. It's a
But
curved
it's not a
plane with the
sphere.
waterfalls at the end, right? Like,
Waterfall at the end. Okay.
you see what looks to be like almost half the world covered in this just monstrous, curling demonic sort of shadow, and it's like, just like monsters almost like eating at each other, and you get like a very large impression that this is what the founding myth of this world is kind of based on. These hungering shadow that the Witch of Envy sort of covered half the world in, and then you see glimmering like just beacons of light start plucking into the terrain, and you kind of all get it seared inside your memory. Like in a moment after you see this and it's whisked away from you, as you try to recollect it, you get a perfect recollection of it.
Are they only in Wallachia, like you said about the Empire?
No,
or are
there's
they across
a couple
all nations?
there's a couple, like literally just I'd say like three. One of it seems to be up north, like in Gusteco. You see one of them in Kararagi and one of them in Lugunica, right? Yeah.
Oh, so these aren't the 10 sigils then.
You see, the rest of the 7 are in Wallachia.
Oh,
and
okay.
and you hear the voice say, "These 7 shards give us the best indication that those ancient people I spoke of reside in Wallachia itself." So that is your first lead, I suppose.
Good thing we know Wallachia really well. At
Good
least
thing
I
you
do.
know Wallachia really well.
Oh, yeah. Good.
I have deep knowledge on it from my years as a mercenary.
Perfect. Tag team. The buzz is still on. Terrible time to have one.
I could tell.
It's all right. Your inebriation is just another part of your personality that we've come to choose.
Choose.
We
Do not
understood you were
indulge
lush
her.
when we chose you.
Oh,
That being
I got
said,
a weird life, so.
I feel my influence waning over you in this
One
moment.
final question for you. Did you come up with a name in the time we've been talking?
Mm-hmm.
A name.
I'll think of one if you don't.
A lot of our names come from stars.
Well, that doesn't go with what I was thinking.
But yes, please let me hear a name.
Oh, the boogeyman.
The Boogeyman.
But stars sound better.
You think I'm a man?
I don't know. I can't see anything, but you're spooky.
I suppose it's a little bit charming. A man calling me a man.
I'm not a man.
Oh, you aren't? I didn't notice.
What? I thought you understood me.
You
Can't
all
you
look
see?
you all look like wavering motes of light to me.
Oh, nope. I'm a woman.
That's all right. That's fine as well.
Perhaps since you are a star, something to resonate with light would be good for your name.
Right.
My father used to speak in a certain language. I believe the word for light was Lu.
Ah,
I like that. Blue.
so to put together both of your names, if I would, Boogeyman and Lou.
Oh,
I
you can
guess
forget mine. You can forget it.
No.
Lou
I
is
like
better.
to. I'll
Boogie
incorporate
Lou.
it. My name will be Lou Man. Lumen.
Ah.
I like it. Nice to meet you, Lumen.
Hello, Lumen.
All right. My will is fading. My dear compatriots, the lovely people of that world. Protect it, for you will need to. Influences from beyond are coming, and they come with it a great power. We influence the world in that power. With each time we throw a star into this world, a part of our influence grows within all of it. A part of our authority grows within it. I suppose you all will awaken to your shards in time. For that, you need to grow and uncover more.
They lead to power.
Yes. Power unlike that of Adlagnas. Power that allows you to influence and rewrite the very nature of reality.
That's a pretty big power.
But it's only minuscule at first. Again, our energy is being saved for contingencies.
Understand.
But we've one of that contingencies that we wish to put into play already. And you see that map of the sky, and you see what looks to be just a rip in the sky. I would say, like, just as if somebody shorn it with pieces of paper, right? Or pieces of scissors, right? Like a piece of paper. You see a tear in reality, and you see a meteor just kind of fall out of the sky. And towards the western side of the empire, and towards what looks to be like an island of sorts, like an island in the middle of like a lake. They exhaust, like they let out like a murmur of exhaustion, and then their voice starts to fade away gently. Please find the fifth, find those scriptures writ upon those tablets, and commune with me again on a night in which the stars fall.
Okay,
Until
Lumen.
Until then. And like out of a trance, you all snap awake. You all feel kind of nauseous, honestly. Just, you kind of, your feet kind of wobble a bit.
Fia taps Siegfried to let her down, and she runs to a pot. Just out it goes.
Oh.
I'll go over and hold her hair.
Oh, thank you.
I know how hard it is to get sick out of fur.
True that.
There. Let it all out.
Thank you, Librom.
As you guys kind of snap out of this trance, you see fire all around you.
Oh shit.
Oh shit! I'm puking.
Yep. You're puking, and you see a familiar but forgotten visage of a bird man creeping over you all.
Oh,
and
it's that
he's
guy!
flying there,
Talon.
and you see Talon there, and he says, "You should have listened to us when we were back there, because I can't allow this greedy count to get exactly what he wants. And as such, seems like I'll have to pay for whatever things that are being orchestrated."
There's no need to be so rash, brother.
Oh, but isn't there? And there's fire licking all above you, and he kind of he pulls a short sword, and it glints menacingly, and you see behind him what looks to be like a bunch of younger ragtag sort of rebels, right? And they look, they look rather like one of them's in the process of, throwing what looks to be like fire bombs into the library. You see the attendant, the headmistress, kind of wrapped up now in like rope, and you guys were in this fugue state, so you couldn't see this happening. And now, what looks to be like the shimmering, like dome that is like almost like a magical ward that is like covering the room that you're all in. And then he kind of says, either I stop their plans now, or perhaps I use you to further my own. How does that sound? Huh? And that is where we'll end the session.
Damn.
Dun dun dun.
Sheesh.
Oh, God. I really want to keep going.
Great session, friends. Is there anything you want to say as we wrap up the recording?
Yeah, that was really, really lovely, everybody. I'm glad you all were able to make it.
Oh, it was
That
so
was a
much
lot
fun.
of fun.
And I hope everyone watching had fun too.
Yay!
Yeah, 100%.
Of course they did.
Duh.
Thank you all so much.
Well, we'll be starting up next time in
Arigato.
combat.
Yeah. Woo!
Just took
Time
4
to kill
episodes.
people.
Yay!
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe.
Let's hope none of us die this time. I really like my character.
I like
someone
mine
just
too.
straight up dies.
Yeah, imagine.
Fuck. Goodbye, everybody, on Reverie.
Bye, everybody.